Story this morning. For the first time ever, two Chinese military planes have been intercepted in international waters near Alaska. That's according to the North American Aerospace Defense Command. The Chinese bombers were accompanied by two Russian long-range bombers yesterday. U.S. and Canadian fighter jets were sent up in response, but things ended without incident. ABC senior Pentagon reporter Louis Martinez has the details. Louis, Russian military activity has been common in this region, but having Chinese planes there is unusual. So what are officials saying about that?
And it is very unusual, which is one of the reasons why the NORAD actually pushed out this information really quickly. We have heard of Russian intercepts for years. You're seeing some of those pictures right now on your screen. But it is very uncommon. Actually, this is the first time that Chinese aircraft have accompanied Russian bombers in these flights off the coast of Alaska. Now, we're talking about several hundred miles off the coast of Alaska, but still, it's enough to trigger an intercept by U.S. and Canadian fighter aircraft to try to get visual confirmation of who they are when they enter this area. But it's really uncommon and kind of shows the growing bonds between both China and Russia militarily. This is something that developed after, that we see increasing with more frequency after Russia's invasion of Ukraine 2 years ago. But this is, again, the most visible scene that we've seen so far of this growing military cooperation between both countries.
So, Louis, what do we know so far about what these planes were doing there?
Well, it's obvious that they're trying to send a message. They're trying to send a message that both Russia and China's militaries can work together. We've seen exercises off the coast of Alaska over the last year. There was a very large one about a year ago where there was essentially a flotilla of about 10 ships, Russian and Chinese Navy ships, that got close to Alaska. But the United States was tracking them all the way through, very much how the United States and Canada were tracking these aircraft from the moment they took off. Probably from Russia, eastern Russia. So this is intended to send a message that they have capabilities, but again, not as much capability as the United States does militarily in order to carry out these kinds of missions. Because in order to carry out these kinds of missions, Dan, Russia has to fly these planes to the eastern part of the country because they're not normally stationed there.